Hey everyone, I was just checking out how the other half lives, and I gotta say, not too shabby. But let's go ahead and discuss it a little bit further by talking about the 2019 Best Picture winning film, Parasite. Meet the Park family, the picture of aspirational wealth, and the Kim family, rich in street smarts but not much else. Be it chance or fate, these two houses are brought together, and the Kims sense a golden opportunity. Masterminded by the child-age Ki Woo, the Kim children expediently install themselves as tutor and art therapist to the Parks. Soon, a symbiotic relationship forms between the two families. The Kims provide indispensable luxury services while the Parks obliviously bankroll their entire household. When a parasitic interloper threatens the Kims' newfound comfort, a savage, underhanded battle for dominance breaks out, threatening to destroy the fragile ecosystem between the Kims and the Parks.
Rated R.
Clean up quite nicely, don't I? And so did Parasite at the Academy Awards, winning 4 Oscars, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Foreign Feature, and Best Original Screenplay. These wins were not lost on me while watching the film. I have been eager to see this movie since that award season. And since it was runner-up, actually first place, in the community poll, I'm very happy to review it. And as a forewarning, this is a Korean film, so I will more than likely be butchering these names. Sorry. I went into Parasite not knowing much about it, aside from its awards. I knew it was about 2 families from 2 different economic backgrounds, but that's it. But what writer and director Bong Joon Ho created is nothing short of amazing. I didn't experience a single dull moment while watching. The movie begins with the Kim family. They are a poor family who live in a basement apartment. Their lack of wealth is made a focal point. We see them skimming Wi-Fi, killing bugs, and doing odd jobs just to get by. The father, Ki Taek, played by Song Kang-ho, seems to be a kind man and very encouraging to his children. The mother, Chung Suk, played by Jang Hae-jin, seemed more strict. The 2 adult children are always looking for opportunities to make a quick buck. The son, Ki Woo, is played by Choi Woo-sik. The daughter, Ki Young, is played by Park So-dam. While both have some skills, they can't seem to pass the college entrance exams and are doomed to a life of manual labor. For the purpose of this review, I will be referring to them as Mr. Kim, Mrs. Kim, Son Kim, and Daughter Kim. That is until the son's friend, who tutors the daughter of a rich family, offers him to take over that position while he's away studying abroad. This is where the grift begins. The son doesn't have a college degree, so his sister uses her computer knowledge and art skills to forge one. Enter the rich Park family. The father, Don-ik, is played by Lee Sun-kyu, a tech millionaire. The mother, Yeon Kyo, played by Cho Yo-young, is a socialite mother who lacks the skills of a housewife. They have 2 young children as well. A teenage daughter, Dai-hai, played by Young Ji-zo, who is being tutored, and a young son who has emotional issues named Da-sang, played by Young Hyun-yun. And again, for this review, I will refer to them as Mr. Park, Mrs. Park, Daughter Park, and Son Park. The Park family lives in a large, fancy house. It's a far cry from the basement dwelling of the Kim family. They have a driver and a housemaid, but their lives aren't perfect either. Their marriage seems to be based more on prestige rather than love. They also treat their employees decently, but have no problem firing them or talking poorly about them behind their backs. In fact, they can be quite cruel. The Kim son's tutoring is off to a great start. The Mrs. Park mentions wanting to find an art teacher for her son. So daughter Kim takes on a new persona as an art teacher and therapist, and along with the recommendation of her brother, the tutor, she gets the job. Now both Kim children are working comfortably for the Park family. And the movie could stop there. Some upward mobility has been achieved and the Kim family can better their lives. However, that isn't enough. Mr. and Mrs. Kim need jobs as well. This is when the family's plan begins to get a little bit more menacing. In order to get jobs with the rich Park family, the current employees have to be dealt with. What follows is a series of complicated fabrications that result in Mr. and Mrs. Kim becoming the driver and housemaid respectively. While this scheme and the story may not have been 100% original, it was still pretty startling to see in action. The rest of the film shows how this scheme gets bigger, bigger, and bigger until it becomes too much to maintain. The result is an explosive climax that left me shocked. Parasite is an interesting film. Obviously this is a Korean film, so everything has to be read in the subtitles. I wasn't bothered by this, but I know some people will be turned off. Personally, I found the story relatable enough that it wasn't hard to follow, even with the language barrier. At its core, Parasite is a study on the differences and interactions of 2 families from opposing socioeconomic echelons. The Kim family, while poor, isn't entirely unskilled, but they lack enough skills to get the opportunities needed to succeed. They also seem to be a little bit lazy. When the son's friend, the one that offered the tutoring job, gifts them a scholar's rock, the family immediately becomes more optimistic. A scholar rock is a stone that usually has a unique size, color, thickness, or pattern that is a curiosity and a decoration. They are traditionally revered and enjoyed by scholars. The Kim family sees it as a sign of good luck and future wealth. This stone will play a part in how the Kim family grows and withers throughout the film. Mr. Kim is especially drawn to it. Visually, the film is beautiful. I found the shot compositions to be engaging. You could really see the Hitchcock influences on director Bong Joon Ho. Every shot felt meaningful and helped build the themes of the film. There's a focus on stairs as well. Living in a basement apartment, the Kim family has to go downstairs in order to get to their home, while the Park family have to go upstairs in order to reach their elevated home. There's often split screens that show the differences between life above ground and life below ground. It's a subtle way to show the audience how the families are on two different tiers. These houses are actually sets too. I was surprised by this, especially the Kim's subterranean house. It felt so lived in and real. The windows are at street level, which invite bugs and dirt in. Their house set was actually built inside of a water tank to capture the inclement weather scenes later on in the film. This home is a catalyst for the family's upward mobility scheme. The Park house, on the other hand, was a gorgeous modern home designed by an in-movie fake architect. It's more minimalist and empty, the perfect home for the fragmented Park family. I also really enjoyed how the Kim family changed their appearances and their personalities for their new jobs. They became these other people. These new personas are not a family, so they had to act accordingly. But they weren't perfect with it, and I liked how the cracks appeared in this faux veneer. Mrs. Kim would be playful with her kids, who are supposed to be strangers. This calls daughter Kim to reprimand her own mother while in character, because Mrs. Kim is only the house help, while the daughter Kim is a professional. These little interactions foreshadowed how the scheme could never work long term. The Kim family just couldn't keep it up, especially when the former housemaid came back with a shocking revelation, which I won't share here. Overall, the cast did a great job of bringing these characters to life. This being a Korean film, I had no idea who they were prior to watching. I was impressed with how they channeled these characters while giving them subtle traits to make them stand out. There's one scene in particular that I really liked. It's when Son Kim is teaching Mr. Kim his lines that he will need to use while he's driving Mr. Park. The scene cut between the basement house and the interior of the BMW. Whenever Mr. Kim would overact his lines, Son Kim would correct him. Then the shot would cut to Mr. Kim driving the car, reciting his lines correctly. It was a really neat way to show how much thought the Kim family was putting into this whole scheme. But of course, there wouldn't be much drama if everything worked out. There are little hints and foreshadowing throughout the film that preview the collapse of the scheme. As I mentioned earlier, I was not expecting this ending. I was genuinely taken back by it, and it's not a happy ending either, but I found it to be fitting for the characters. Parasite isn't just about the drama either. It effortlessly flows between genres. There's comedy, drama, thriller, science fiction, and even a little horror. I was surprised with how balanced it was, given these often conflicting tones. I do want to say that the one scene that's horror-oriented was so unexpectedly frightening, it made me uncomfortable. It only lasts a few moments, but it was pretty impactful. Now, this is the part of the review where I normally talk about things I didn't like about the film. But honestly, I can't think of anything major that I didn't like. There were these little moments here and there that didn't quite tickle my fancy, but it's nothing of note. I did try reading some of the negative reviews on IMDb to get a sense of what other people didn't like, but it was mostly generic things like overrated, which isn't much of a criticism in itself. Some complaints are about how the characters made poor decisions that negatively impacted their plans. And I had those same complaints, but those poor decisions are perfectly within their established personalities. So those choices are intended to be in poor judgment because the characters have poor judgment, which is a lot different than when characters make decisions outside of their established personalities. If you have any complaints about Parasite, I would love to hear them in the comment section down below. Really, I would. The film's title, Parasite, actually describes all of the characters in the film. Obviously, the Kim family is leeching off of the rich Park family. They manipulate their way into the home and take what they want and what they need. There is some symbiosis between them since both parties get something out of the relationship, but the Kims tend to take more than they should. But the rich Park family are also parasites. They expect the most from their staff. They want them to go above and beyond and have no problem firing them within a moment's notice. They'll just hire another servant to abuse. In the end, Parasite is a fantastically produced film that explores how people from different socioeconomic tiers interact with each other. It's visually and thematically interesting. It's a satisfying watch. And that is why I am giving the 2019 Best Picture film Parasite the perfectly manicured score of 10 out of 10. That's right, a 10. I know, that must be pretty shocking. I'm shocked myself. But honestly, I can't find much fault with the film. The story is well thought out. The characters are realistic. The themes are relatable and the visuals are interesting and beautiful. I was completely invested the whole time, enjoying every second, which is a feat not many films do. What about you though? What did you think about Bong Joon Ho's Parasite? Infiltrate my comments below and tell me. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep this symbiotic relationship going. Now, if you don't mind, I got a banquet I need to get ready for, but I'll see you there, right? Oh, you weren't invited? Oof, that's too bad. I'll bring you a doggy bag. Bye.